day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
Tailored Life is your headquarters for all things fall in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, mums, and more. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Are you a veteran looking for a new companion animal? A dog, a cat, or maybe something else? The Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs Vets Get Pets program can cover up to $350 of your pet adoption fees. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov/vetsgetpets to learn more about program requirements and how to apply. Want to help support the program? Get your Vets Get Pets specialty license plates from the Nebraska DMV. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yes, sir. We're back like we never left again. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Orman. We're the Old School coming at you live 1040 O Street on this beautiful day after a little bit of a chilly start. Remnants of Bloomington, but we're going to warm it up here. We are brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese Special Ingredients Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Andermatt, and 168th and Maple up there in the O. We appreciate you guys, obviously, in the last, like always. Feel free to keep texting in questions, ideas, so forth and so on. It's Wednesday, so you got to officially move on. But before you move on, obviously you got to, obviously forgive yourself. But never forget. Obviously, we talked about it on Monday, but I think part of the process of, I didn't officially hear any of or didn't listen to any of the coordinators talk, just because of, my view on the game is a little bit different, just because having played and just understanding the eye test. The eye test is huge for me. And then watching the game 5 times, looking at it and look at what it could have been, should have been, woulda, coulda, shoulda, we'd all be drunk or whatever, whatever the saying is. And so it's a unique week. Because if the schedule was we were going to play Purdue or USC or UCLA, the aura around the past performance would, it would be a lot different. It'd be like, okay, let's see if this team can bounce back and take a huge step and get a win. Now you're facing the, quite frankly, even though they lost to Oregon, probably the best team in the nation, right? Talent wise, or, right there with Texas and Georgia and all them. And so you go on the road again, another 11 a.m. kickoff or 12, or, where you'd be playing at. So what are the expectations? What are the new expectations? Have they changed? And were expectations met last week from a player standpoint? Emphatically no, obviously. Obviously when you get beat like that, everybody's, got to take some blame. But ultimately, when you're out there on the field, you got to figure it out. And, to the tune of 49 points. Indiana's a good team. They really are. They're a good team. They got good players. They're not a great team. And they figured out a way to do what they do, and that's what you got to respect that. And they're definitely worthy of where they're ranked, but they're not to the tune of 49 points, and it's just that's just not acceptable. So, moving forward, man, I think the hardest conversations, man, is to have with yourself as an athlete. When you let yourself down, let your teammates down, let your coaches down, hometowns, or whatever it is, your why. And that's the hard. You cannot avoid those conversations. Those are hard conversations to have, man. Because
the point is that you have them, so you don't feel that way again, right?
If you have, the biggest way to get past a game that you disappoint yourself, and I'm gonna tell you this is no different. I'll be just 100% frank with you guys. And I've said it, and I'll keep saying it. I felt like one of the most talented teams, again, just like 83 team, that didn't win it for whatever reason. I felt like there was players playing weren't ready for that type of game against Texas. I felt like, look, we lost the game on defense. Quite frankly, we got beat on a 4th and 1 play, man-to-man defense. Where they threw it to the tight end, games that match. We didn't answer the bell at a chance of pretty much being if we win that game. Say we win that game, we beat Florida State in the national championship. We win 97. That's 4 in a row. It would never have been done again. 3 in a row. Then 4. We didn't. We skipped a year. Took a time off. So,
So what conversations did you have then after 96, right?
Right.
You couldn't avoid those tough conversations.
Right. It took a while to get there. And after that, we had a month before we played Virginia Tech. And they were a good team. They had, Jim Druckenmiller, Oxendine, the Washington brothers, both of them played, 6+ years in the league. They had another big tackle, played 10. They had a really good defense. They had my boy Keon Carpenter and all them, Pearson Prelude, who played 12 years. They had it. It was a great match. I mean, obviously we ended up playing, but we didn't play well. But the conversations that we had after that season were some of the hardest that you had to have individually, collectively, coaches, like not really with the coaches, the players within ourselves. Hey man, it was a turning point and probably led us to win in 97. I'd probably venture to say 96 team was more talented. 97 was we had to get over letting ourselves down. Not once, but twice.
What percentage of the guys bought into having those conversations? Pretty close to 100, I assume.
No, I mean I've said it before. Listen, we had pretenders. There's still pretenders that I played with walking around here, but they knew just to stay out of the. They just stayed out of the way. That's every team, man. It's but this week right now, you just got to have the conversations with yourself and say, okay, let's really peel this onion back, and let's get down to business.
Was it guys that were around in 94 and 95 that initiated those conversations?
Yeah, because they were the seniority guys, and so I think it's just if they decide to take control of the team, in which they probably do, but really, really be more demanding of each other. From a standard standpoint, they'll end the season just fine.
Who's going to do that exactly off this group? Like we talk freely that well, somebody needs to lead, and this conversation needs to be had, and these changes need to be made.
Right.
But in every one of these situations, it has to be somebody.
Yeah, I'm
specific.
sure like the guys. And particularly, I just focus. I'm not solely focused on the defense, but I got high expectations for them. So I'm sure like Ty Robinson and Bullock and those guys and Jamari probably has some conversation with within themselves, and they know right from wrong. They know right from wrong. I mean,
do we know? Do they know what the wrong is? Have they identified what? Austin and I were talking yesterday, and I asked the question: have they identified what happened? Like, and identity requires some honesty, some deep rooted honesty. Okay, here's what actually happened. Here's what we know versus what we think we know, as Simple likes to say. Right? Here's what we know versus what we think we know. And then somebody has to say, okay, Jay, you gonna lead us? Austin, you gonna lead us?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to have guys that are gonna be out in the forefront, but everybody needs it. Look, everybody played bad. So they really they know, so they all know where it's at. But internally, like everybody, I mean, everybody, I mean, I get it, man. Like you could talk about plays. That's fine. Okay, so that means you're going like that. That ain't gonna change nothing, man. Like I just told you, like we in '96, man. I could tell you, man. I don't care if Coach Darlington there. That's like, look, dude, that wasn't working. I told you before the game. I told Craig Bowl before the game. It ain't gonna work. It didn't work, right? That's the greatest coaching staff of all time. It happens. It does happen. But we controlled. That's what I'm saying. We controlled how we did handle it. Now, I don't think that. I mean, obviously we had the flu and all this other stuff. I just think it's, like doesn't matter the call. I mean, it does in theory, right? I mean, if you're trying to say like you're going to have Jay Foreman guard Randy Moss all the time, then that's for sure. But in the basics of it, you can't sit up there and worry about plays, calls, defensive fronts on that until you handle the foundation of what you control when you arrive at the gym, the baseball diamond, the football field. Everything that you control, it has nothing to do with where you're playing.
Is it fair to imagine that somebody in that room, that Jay Foreman would walk in the room and say, okay, scratch this, and this, right?
I mean, like for this last game?
Yeah.
I ain't scratching nothing. Dude, first of all, we got.
Like you kind of knew. You kind of knew what it.
No, this is not a I'm sure that the coordinators probably said that they could call better plays. That's great. The execution, if you're not executing, it doesn't matter what's called. That's my point. I don't need you to scratch anything. I can come tell you that stuff needs to be scratched when we're operating and we're playing with the right intentions and the mindset and the competitiveness. Then then you can get into that. That's when it gets fun. That's when the pressure really falls on the I guess the coaches. But like that is not. You can't tell me that ain't a schematic thing out there against Indiana.
Yeah, I'm looking.
I mean, and that's what it happens. And my Buffalo Bills got blown out by the Ravens. I was like, oh, I mean, and this is, when I kept trying to tell people, this is a 12-chapter book that's not ready to overflow. People, when you hear a coach say we have a good team, people think it's easy, and this is what a lot of people in media do. They think good means complete. It's not. We got a good team, probably, obviously above average teams trending towards good, really just crap the bed, and they got to bounce back. And luckily enough, they got enough time to do so versus if this was the last game of the season. So, I think a lot of people are trying to put meat on a bone and try to, be some piranhas on it when at the end of the day, you got to understand, where you're at and what happened. Sure, there's plenty of blame to go around, but the main people are going to fix it. There's an old saying, you got excuses, you're going to make excuses, you're going to make progress. Progress starts with what you can control as a player. That's the way it happens in the pros. It happens in high school. It happens in college. You get your butt whooped. You got to check yourself first. Check you first. Did you handle your business? Because there's nobody that got on that bus and said, I played good.
Is there a difference between Coach Foreman, player Foreman, fan Foreman, and how they're going to process going into Ohio? Because it's officially, as you said, it's officially Ohio State week.
Yeah. I mean,
right.
We
have to be fair, right? That Jay Foreman, the professional, can speak to spaces and corners that, you know what? In the situations I've been in, some things happened that we wasn't happy about. And this is how we dealt with it. And this is at the very top level of this sport that we love so much. Then there's Coach Foreman, right? Who can look at it and process it with a far greater understanding of what's going on. Because you see things that are happening before they happen.
Right.
Right. Then there's the fan and most of the people that we're talking to are fans.
Sure. And they have a place too, and they have a lot of say in it too. I mean,
so what would you say to the Husker fan about what happened Saturday versus maybe not what to expect Saturday, but how do you feel about going into Saturday? Because
I know how these fans. I mean, I know how the fans feel, and rightfully so. There's a lot of disappointment going around based on execution, effort, or whatever you want to call it, right? Just because you should be as a player, I would be disappointed. I'll be disappointed in myself, in my linebackers, and my defense, and offense. I'll be disappointed, sure, Yeah. And as a fan, you should be. What you actually should expect is better execution, better efficiency, and better. I guess which you do that, then the effort will be there. And a better drive and competitiveness. That's what I think. That's what you should be expectations. And as a coach, that's probably along the same. But also, I think you coach and you train and you get the guys into the mindset that you can beat Ohio State. See, the problem I would have against Indiana, and I play with pros like this, right? Where when we were playing the Colts, we had young guys come in and they're like, heck, he talked about Peyton Manning and all them for dude. I said, dude, you lost the game before we played on Sunday, right? I mean, we know he's great. We know Marvin Harrison is great, but did you make it harder on him? Did you complete? Because everybody's human. Everybody has holes in their game per se. And if you put a team in a situation that they are not accustomed to or don't want to play over time, the athletic ability gap or talent gap is nullified. You can point to Vanderbilt. You could point to Idaho against Oregon. You can point to
Madison thumping North Carolina in their own crib.
You could talk to a whole bunch of different scenarios. Here's what my focus would be against Ohio State. Here's what it showed me under pressure. And this is what I love Ryan Day. And but here's what he showed me over time. And it came to reality last year at Michigan. They had control of the game. Now, granted, they went to the best player in the nation or the number one receiver, and I felt like his effort was suspect at best. But also, the drive before, it was clock management with him. So as the game if you can keep the game tight, the pressure is no longer on you. That doesn't mean that you go, oh, let's just throw it deep and all that. But then the game gets shorter. Then actually, that's when you become to get stronger. That's what we obviously didn't do against Indiana. And then I think they're probably a little, maybe, because in JMU, you have to be really, really good with the clock and situational football. Why is that important? How you approach this game, how you compete in this game is having a starting goal, middle goal, and end goal on how you want this game to go. You got to make Ohio State beat you. you can't beat yourself. You can't help them. Why? Because after a timeout, the 12 play thing, that's on the rules and all this other stuff. After a timeout, that lets me know you ain't did your 2-minute drill. You try to tell me you didn't tell your quarterback you got 4 seconds left. If you scramble, I need a second to go. One, you had a timeout. And then number 2, to get the field goal.
Get down, man. Get down.
So if you get to that point, it'd be great. You can get into schematics and who you want to take advantage of, and is the defense of Ohio State really as good as the talent level, right? I would Denzel Burke. You probably like Ward a couple years ago. You probably should have left after your junior year. He came back and hey, you getting roasted, homeboy. But I think the biggest thing is Nebraska, when they go back to work or go back to practice, they gotta like.
No, you said it right the first time.
What?
They got to go to work?
What? No, what I'm saying, when you go back to work or when you're at practice, as much as you're worried about Ohio State and what they have, what's more important is what you need to do so you can actually do what you're expected to do and want and should do against Ohio State.
Yeah, individual accountability,
right.
And then group accountability.
Just go play
team responsibility.
Yeah, go play football.
Like there's
right.
a method to it. There's a way to do it. We've seen how
it's hard. It's
right?
Because it's an immature team. It's a immature team, and for they're learning how to win and all this other stuff. And it's a process that a lot of schools it's a process and a skill that is glossed over from youth football, high school football, and then college. Mm-hmm. Learning how to win, what it takes to win, because you see it all the time in basketball, where you see more games lost in basketball and football than any other sport, because everybody's there. What do they say in basketball, Austin? I'm just here to get mine. Right? Then I'm out. Right? But then they gloss over the fact that when you want to go to the highest level, they like winners, because they figure like when you're a winner and you will make winning plays, that means that they can trust you to do the work that's needing to win. It's a habit and it's a skill that me and DP, since we're obviously significantly older than you, Austin, that we were taught at a very young age that was actually magnified and put at a high level. When you just go back and watch like the 85 draft or the 83 draft and the 90, and where they were talking about like what Tim Couch, like, well, he hasn't really had to win. What they tell you about Jay Cutler? Has all the talent in the world, couldn't do what Brett Favre's done and win a game when he was at Southern Miss, I think against Bama, right? I think it was. He won. I think it was against Bama. Brett Favre, Southern Miss beat Bama. It was a big time win. They're like, he knows how to win, right? And so, but over time, it became, well, he can run a 40 and all this other stuff. Now you got to do it, but I think the learning how to win is a process that they're learning at, and it's a day-to-day thing, because learning how to win, you just don't do it one day. It's a everyday type of thing.
I'm glad you called them a young team, because that was really why when I said, when you were talking about somebody's going to step up and have to kind of lead and rebrand, and asking who it was, you have some veteran players. But as you just said, they have to be veteran players that know how to win.
Yeah.
Rather
so
than
they're young. Everybody, they're all on the same page.
Right.
You got guys with experience, but everybody's going. They all went through like a very unique, weird process of.
And if you're a 5th year, 6th year senior, and you haven't won the entire time you're here, the young people go, well, what do you know about it?
Right. And so you got to break that. You got to break that.
Right.
Ice. You got to break that ice. And that's a different way how to lead. And if you don't really understand it, and you got to make sure that you're doing it with the purity of, we need to get there. Mm-hmm. And when I leave, I want you to do better than me. Right. Then that's kind of like where you're at. So I think they're, learning that, what being demanding, and sometimes you step on people's toes, and you know what? You step on people's toes, and, you stubbed your toe at night. Right. By the time you wake up in the morning, you'll be all right. You still be buddies. We'll still be able to have some cupcakes.
Yeah, but I still need to get that back, man. We got stuff to do, right? Is that
I think it's like I said, man.
It's always tough after a 50, like a 56-7 weekend just shatters a lot, and it's one of those things that, okay, do you watch film?
Oh yeah,
yeah, you watch the film.
Oh yeah, you know what? I'm going to talk about when we played the Chiefs, when we got blown out the frame. I'm going to talk about how this process goes. Then we'll move on to Ohio State after this break. Jay Foreman, DP Austin, Old School. We are back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and Jay. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is State Senator Carolyn Bozin. Public safety is important in our community. I have a proven record of protecting public safety. I have prosecuted perpetrators of domestic violence, advocated for the rights of child abuse victims, held sexual predators accountable, and fought to keep drug traffickers off our streets. This is Senator Carolyn Bozin, and I will continue to fight to keep our community safe. Vote Carolyn Bozin on November 5th. Paid for by Bozin for Legislature.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services as well as painting and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a slight chance of showers this morning. Otherwise, decreasing clouds throughout the day. An afternoon high around 67. Tonight, mostly clear skies with a low around 46. Tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return. It'll be breezy with a high around 81. And meteorologist Kyle Flecker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Tailored Life is your headquarters for all things fall in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, mums, and more, plus porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most of which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
This October, the Bonsall Spooktacular 10 event is back with spooktacular savings all month long. Stop by anytime in October to discover incredible deals, including hot tubs as low as $5,995. That's up to 20% off MSRP. Plus, enjoy 10% off infrared and traditional saunas. Don't miss out on these hauntingly good offers. Visit Bonsall Pool and Spa today. Bonsall Pool and Spa, every day made better at 33rd and Pioneers.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We're back. Second segment, Jay Foreman, DP, 4 o'clock hour, 1040 O Street. Live in effect, the Mecca of Sports Radio. I think it's, the funny thing is obviously, but there's no comparison to obviously when I played to here, but there's comparables at the pro level. I think, like I've kept saying, I think college football is more of a pro football version of football versus college, and I think NFL is entertainment in a lot of ways. And I don't believe in the conspiracy theories, but I just think it's entertainment because of the money. It's worldwide. It's entertainment. It's like a traveling carnival, and
You need to stop by on the block sometime and knock some sense into Strick. I keep trying.
there is some weird stuff going on, but it
he
is
gonna
what
fight you over that.
It
man.
is what it is. I mean, if there's conspiracies, then hopefully they just said, you know what, bless Buffalo with a championship. That'd be great. But I remember. I always try to compare. I never want to get up here and try to act like I'm high and mighty, right? I always try to compare.
Yeah, like you're a Hall of Famer or something.
Well, that's fine. That's cool. That's not another life, right?
Like you led the league in tackles. Nah, what you won several titles.
Back-to-back years. But that's probably why I got a broken neck now. Yeah. But anyways, but I like to always try to have, if there's comparable situations, that I can always try to put myself in their shoes to, I guess, educate people, to give people a little bit of heads up of what it's like, right? And I remember I always talk about, we played Kansas City one time. They got after us pretty good. And this is when they had Dante Hall, Priest Holmes, they had Will. I mean, they were tough, right? And they got after our defense's tail pretty good. And it was embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? And the game got away from us really quick. It was a tight game, kind of like Nebraska, right? And then all of a sudden they, now granted there was other factors, but we were good enough as a defense to, like I always say, to be able to tread water and keep our head above water. We did not, right? We did not. Now granted, our offense had issues, but defensively, we did not. And then actually the whole team. And here's what we did as a defense, and then as a team. Everybody was mad. There's a lot of frustration. We had the boos and all this other stuff, and throw the hands up, and the fans are like, here we go again, so forth and so on. And when we watched that defensive tape, even though the score was bad, we actually, in a weird way, because we forgave ourselves by really, really having hard talks with ourselves in our linebacker rooms and all this other stuff. Now, mind you, I would tell you this is coming off a bye week too, so we expect to play good when we play like booty. Is that we saw on tape and gained confidence, because it was like, yeah, we were getting called to the floor, right? We were getting called out. Dom Capers called us out. You know what I mean? And then you got the GM. I think Charlie Castle was in there. And the Bob McNair was in there, because the onus was on us, right, as a team or as a defense to lead the way. But then there's a whole team. We watched it with the whole team. And I remember Dom was like, there was a play that I messed up on. And it's a play that he expected me to make. I expected myself to make. I did not make the play. Matter of fact, I made the wrong check, which should never happen. I should never mess up mentally. That's a no-go. That was a no-go for me. Right? So you get, there's 53 guys in there and 8 on the practice squad. Hey, everybody's in there. You on front. Hey, you puckered up real tight. You just waiting for your time too, right? And it wasn't good. But walking away from there, we gained confidence, because as we went along and you got called, you were like, you know what? That's on me. I can control that. I can make the play. Now, here's how weird the sports world goes. The next year, and this is funny, this is when Kansas City was even rolling even more. This is when they were really talking about Super Bowl. We were playing them up in Kansas City. Now, granted, we had Andre then, so we had a little bit of X factor over there, but they had Patrick Surtain and those, defensive backs. We go to Kansas City. So you got to think, in our mind, we watched that game. The same game from the year before. Now, I had payback on my mind, because Tony Richardson cheap shot at me. So I've been waiting for this game for 6 months, all offseason. He was going to retire. I think he was trying to get more money. Then once I saw on KFFL.com, I don't even know if it's still alive. Text line, let me know if it's still alive. I saw he was coming back. My workouts changed. But the thing is, we gained enough confidence from what we didn't do, because we forgave ourselves by working through it. Honestly, hard conversations, but we never forgot it. We went up there and upset Kansas City. And so that's where you talk about what the expectations of Ohio State. If you do that and you do it in a honest and pure way, it's not personal, right? Because everybody loves the team and everybody loves each other on the team. This is the football version of us, and we have to have some friction, some real life friction. And once we get past that friction, it starts to smooth out. then we move along together. And then I always say like this, man, this is an easy way to look at a team. You need offense, defense, special teams. You need coaching, and culture. That makes the fifth, right? You do that, then you'll be able to go to places and David and Goliath upset the world. And then you'll be like, man, that's the team actually that we expect to show up for 12 weeks.
Well, being able to communicate when you face friction, right? Or when friction shows up.
Yeah.
Right? How you communicate, people talk about learn how to win.
Yeah.
It's usually that when chaos happens, how you handle chaos that dictates winning. And if you get comfortable in, hey man, hey Jay, eyes left. I need you to take a look.
Yeah.
Like, look, hey, I'm going. And to be able to talk and communicate. Well, Indiana had players who had success at JMU playing together, and they adjusted routes, they adjusted coverage, they adjusted blocking schemes. Their timing was perfect. Like they knew where people were going to be, and they were where they were supposed to be on time and in place. Those things have to be learned.
Yeah, and the biggest thing I think by bringing those players from where he was at and handpicking players that they did extensive research at that level where they were at, it could fit different places, along with Tom Allen actually had an uptick in recruiting before he got fired, is they could immediately implement their culture because those players do it. So he came with this vision, right? Every coach is going to come up and they'll have the tag words, fast. What's the dude from UTEP? He said, we want to be the fastest and physical, that's your blueprint.
Well, last year for Nebraska was RDV, relentless, disciplined, and violent.
Right, but you know who has to?
You're funny.
We have to, but we have to. But the guys that have to do that, who has to live it, when you're a football player, it's just who you are, man.
Yeah,
and that's what he was able to do.
It's not just when you're in the facility.
Yeah, just who you
all
are.
Day,
sometimes obviously when we were here, we took a little bit too far. But I think that's what they're learning how to do. They're a young team. They got some veteran players. They got a lot of young players. You got a lot of guys that are trying to learn how to really, be in this big time football.
They're young and in leadership positions.
Some are, some are. And I mean, look, man, you got a freshman quarterback. You got to listen. We're rolling with them, dude.
Yeah,
that's it. And because at the end of a year or two from now, you look back on it, it's like, all right, that's part of the learning process, along with some other young guys. That doesn't make it right. We're at week 6. So the old saying used to go, when I was a freshman starting, Coach Sam would say, look, man, after that 6th game, he's like, hey, Chief, you're no longer a freshman. Yeah. So there's a lot to be learned, and they can learn from it, and they can get better from it, and I expect them to do so. And it's a hard process to go through, because letting yourself down is probably one, and everybody's done it. If anybody gets on this radio station, or not on radio, or just says that they've never really effed up, or or let themselves didn't play well, you ain't play hard enough. If you ain't got, or and there is a difference. Getting got, showing up and ready to play, and you get got by a better player, like me against Tony Gonzalez or something like that. Okay, that's you can somewhat deal with that. Not being focused and ready to compete is a thing that you have to make sure. That's what you can never forget.
Oh, the dudes that got you that you wasn't expecting.
Tony Gonzalez?
Oh, no. Tony. You got a battle when it's Tony.
Oh yeah.
It's the dude who snuck into the game that you watched him. He played 3 plays last week.
There's only one dude that did that.
Yeah.
There's that. First of all, Lorenzo Neal. When I saw him downstairs, he really think he got me. I was like, bro, like I destroyed you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we used to call him One Pop. Like, no, bro, you sit out the club. There's a dude that was his backup. This is the funny thing. And every time I see him if there's 2 dudes I wish I could strap it up against. Matt Hoskinson / Joel Makovica, just because they run their mouth so much. But this dude named Fred McCrary, is it McCrary? He was a backup fullback. Just played at Auburn or something. So we were playing him one time. I played off I jumped over a cut block, right? Yeah. So the lineman tried to cut me. Yeah. Then he hit me in the midair. And then so he got me, and then he just, I got it. He's up running around, flexing. That's the only dude that where I got caught slipping. I mean, I got
one more time though. One more time.
Oh, It would be hey, listen, we can line up right there.
11-0.
11-0.
Put him out there.
Put it straight YouTube. There's no deviating from that, man. So, yeah, he got me. I mean, that's, you're going to get God in the league sometimes.
Fred McCrary, 31 career rushing yards, 1 rushing touchdown, but 113 receptions for 646 yards and 7 tutties.
Mm-hmm.
By the top of his Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Nailed Jay Foreman once.
Yeah, he did.
He's got the picture.
Yeah. He got me, man. And then the thing is, every other team we played that he was on, he was a backup fullback, and he got me, man. I was admitted. I mean, you're just defenseless. And it looked worse than it was, but it happens to everybody. But, I think the biggest thing to take away from last week going into this week, and then we'll talk, as we got, we'll talk about Ohio State because I've watched them a couple games, is I'm big on intent. It's an everyday thing. It's hard to do, but you have to do it. It's a mental thing more than a physical thing. And the mental changes and will lead you physically and spiritually to bigger and better things. But we're going to take a break, not to bigger and better things. When we come back, we will talk about, on the short segment, the trades. One of the sneakiest trades is Seattle Seahawks. I'm telling you, if they get Geno and Metcalf going, that defense is going to be a problem. They got my man Ernest Jones. He's one of the best and most efficient linebackers out there. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Norman. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and Jay on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You've seen them come and go. Franchise testosterone clinics that pop up and then whoosh, they're gone. These franchise clinics quickly find out it's not easy to compete with Limitless Male. Limitless is locally owned and operated with a flawless protocol that has elevated them to be the best in men's testosterone replacement and sexual performance. By adding GLP-1s, our patients are losing weight in a healthy way. To feel your optimal best, schedule a free consult at limitlessmale.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through October 29th is $1 off per pound on New York strips. Spend $50 and get a free brick of ground beef and 25% off on tea. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Hi, I'm State Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised right here in Lancaster County. I understand the value of hard work by being involved in our family business. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. Nebraska families and business owners need lower taxes, more affordable health care, and a great education system. That is why I fought for the largest tax cut in Nebraska history, reduce the cost of healthcare, and help pass the biggest investment in our public schools. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on November 5th. Paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
Urology Partners of Nebraska is Lincoln's newest full-service urology group. Urology Partners uses state-of-the-art treatment options for both men and women, including some exciting treatments new to our community that help you get back to your confident and active lifestyle. The team at Urology Partners is dedicated to quickly and effectively restoring your health, with new patients typically seen in clinic within 48 hours. Whether you have questions about your prostate, incontinence issues, kidney stones, or erectile dysfunction, their team has you covered. Call Urology Partners today to schedule an appointment.
Drink locally and support local business during Lincoln's Craft Beer Week, October 20th through the 26th. Great beer, cider, distillates, and more are made right here in Lincoln. For more info, visit lincoln.org/beer-week. Brought to you by Visit Lincoln. Remember to enjoy responsibly.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Patriot Plumbing at 402-464-7411 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-464-7411.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score big on Kawasaki's most dependable side-by-side, the Mule Pro, built to take on your most demanding days. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of October. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with large selection of motorcycles and side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Stop by every Saturday for their Husker tailgate with free food, drinks, and games. As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we're back. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, DP, Old School's crew. Eric says Rashawn said he got the best of you once, Jay. Doubtful. He might have. You know, the one thing about Rashawn, he would get practice cracking. That's one thing that Rashawn gonna talk all practice, and then if he gets you, he gonna let you have it. So he gonna get it. He was a tight end. We never really went at each other or nothing like that. But yeah, he would definitely get that bad boy cracking. Was it 10th and Vine? Jay needs to talk to the locker room with 10th. Where's 10th and Vine? Is that where the football thing is? What's it?
I mean, it's close. 14. But yeah, fine.
Yeah. Anyways, NFL. Some trades. Chiefs. It's going to be a reemergence of DeAndre Hopkins. You know what the Chiefs are? Chiefs are now like the Raiders back in the day, DP, where they're getting guys that kind of get thrown out the pasture and have a couple more years left, and they give them a championship environment, don't overuse them, and get maximum output. He's going to have 6 touchdowns at least by the end of the year.
I think 6 is
probably low, but I mean,
yeah.
And then you got to think Juju Smith-Schuster was playing really well until he got hurt, and Rice is out for the season. Great pickup.
Yeah, the idea of Hopkins, Mahomes having Hopkins to throw to is
what's that skill set?
Yeah, it's just boy. Like it's the Lamar thing with Derrick Henry and just taking another person out of the equation to defend him, and now you're just gonna let Mahomes run free to move the chains, and you do all the hard work of press covering Hopkins, and then Mahomes just runs down the field for 20 spots.
Throws it up.
Yep, in your spot, or he throws a fade, and then nothing you can do about it because he's Hopkins. The NFL, I mean, and I don't think the trades are done.
No, you had another one. Yeah. I mean, Ernest Jones got traded. Again, he was traded from the Rams during training camp to the Titans. And then obviously the Titans traded Hopkins and Ernest Jones. Ernest Jones wants a new contract. He had 4 really good years in a row. He's playing good right now. Traded him to Seattle essentially for peanuts. You had the Mari Cooper trade to Buffalo, which paid dividends right away. And then also Houston Texans, I think what they really did, where it wasn't a trade, Devin White, who was a former Pro Bowl linebacker, young player still, didn't acclimate. I always thought when he went to Philly to play for Vic, knowing the little bit I know about him, and I know how good of a player he was and really can be. You know, I think he had some off the field stuff. I think his dad passed away, and that really, affected him, and that's just natural. That Houston's picking him up. You're getting a Pro Bowl dude looking for an opportunity, mad at the world, and he'll be plug and play right away. And you have a linebacker head coach that understands who he is and what he needs to do to play well.
I don't think we talk enough about the chemistry that's required. That if you're going to pick up a player or any player of talent that plays, if you play for the wrong coach.
Oh, it either you play for the wrong, or first of all, if you're drafted by the wrong organization, and stuff, you say you get injured or something, coordinator change, or you play for a coordinator that doesn't, you sign there, and then it's like, you got me doing something I ain't never done before.
Well, it should be, why, as Mike Tomlin told Brandon Marshall, that's why I'm highly compensated.
Yeah.
That should be why they're highly compensated, is to figure out that chemistry, figure out how to acquire the guys that fit them, and vice versa.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it with O'Shawn Mathis. We probably looked at him, and I don't think we ever saw a play that he didn't play in a wide 9 and just go crazy. Didn't have any responsibilities. And then you try to play in a more of a complex defense where you got to be very versatile, and it just didn't work out. I mean, it did at some times, but not to the rate that what people wanted. I think Devin White in this situation is the same, especially at the pro level. I think I know personally, me personally, for playing from Vic, you have to be mentally strong, mentally tough, and you have to dive in the minute details in order to really, really show your how good you are, like it can be. And if he didn't, or if you don't play well, Vic will play a young dude quick over you. You get hurt or something, young dude play, he'd be like, oh yeah, you done. No, but he couldn't do it to Patrick Willis and Navarro because Jim Harbaugh stepped in. But
even if he wanted to,
but I'm sure it crossed his mind. But that's what happened up there. A couple guys that are a little bit cheaper, and then it just became a pull thing. Like, you know what I mean? And it's easy for up there in the league to say, all right, we're not progressing because he's still in the locker room. Well, what's going to happen is the dude that's going to be playing right now going to get a little ankle sprain. Devin's going to be down there playing for championships. So
they're going to pull an Embiid, huh?
No, I'm saying.
Did you see the headline today?
Yeah, we'll dive into that. Embiid said, listen, I need my time off. Okay. These brothers that play pro sports now, they need breaks. Okay. He said, when I was in the Olympics, I was out of shape. I need the half of the season to get back in shape for us to lose in the first round again with Paul George. Matter of fact,
if he's around.
Yeah, well, he's got a high ankle sprain.
Bone bruise.
Yeah, same thing. But yeah. Anyways, we'll take a quick break, come back. We'll talk some more NFL, and then we'll end the day with some tips and stuff to look out for Ohio State. Could have a little bit of short day tomorrow, Thursday. So Jay Foreman, DP Austin, we'll be right back.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
It happens. All of a sudden, you need a plumber. Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Problem solved with Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
With a wide variety of menu options, including the best prime and Wagyu steaks in Lincoln, if you haven't been to Tavern 180, you're missing out. Try any of their steak options paired with one of their well-known martinis, and this will soon become your favorite date night spot. Call your friends for a casual get-together where steak, shrimp, chicken, and tasty cocktails await your arrival. Tavern 180, located next door to Tanner's at 30th and Yankee Hill.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
You have a big investment in your farming operation. Let Landmark Implement help you get the most out of your equipment by investing in pre-season service inspections. Let our John Deere trained and certified technicians provide you with a complete list of repairs that will help your equipment perform better and deliver maximum performance. At Landmark, buy 3 equipment service inspections and get the 4th free. Contact your local Landmark service manager for details and experience the Landmark difference.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we're back. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin Norman, Old School, live in effect, 1040 O Street. Brought to you by the Mercado, Certified Piedmontese, Special Ingredients and Butcher Shop, 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, 85th and Andermatt, and 168th and Maple. NFL stuff going on. It was NBA opening night, DP. It's still, like, I call it the extension of preseason. 2 games last night. Celtics mollywopped the Knicks. And the Lakers, I would say, survived against my T-Wolves.
Did we check on Rico today?
Yeah.
Is he okay?
No. Yeah, no, he's fine.
He's
back. Hanging in there.
Rico is back to his. He's back to his height. He's back.
He's strong.
Yeah, he was 6'3" when they made the trade, and after the playoff run. He's back to reality right now.
Okay.
He was talking a big game. Oh, it's going to be okay. It was just one night. Mikhail's form wasn't as bad as it looked in pregame. He didn't mean it. You could tell in his eyes. Conviction wasn't in his voice. He was trying. Not very convincing, though.
I was surprised how bad they looked.
Yeah.
Because was it Harvenstein? It's kind of like he's not as good as Cat. So you're not replacing him with like back to the basket guys and stuff like that. And they did not look good. And I think it's going to
know what to do.
I think it's going to take them a little while.
Yeah.
How much of that is the Knicks and how much of that is Boston just being really freaking good still?
It's probably
we don't
want to
concede that.
Yeah. Probably majority Boston.
The most concerning part for me for the Knicks is this is opening night. You have a chance to go to one of your biggest rivals and spoil their party.
The game was over by the first quarter.
You put your team together to stop exactly what happened.
Okay.
Yikes. Not a great first impression.
Okay, this. You know how I love, like, for college football and pro football to come up with for big game weekends what ticket prices are to let you know the importance of those games in that area. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman. If I said to you, you could go and see the Bucks and Sixers.
Tonight?
Yeah, tonight.
$36.
You could get in for $16.
Oh, sit up. Oh yeah. Sit up top.
Milwaukee or Philly?
It's in Philly. Yeah. If you wanted to, you ready for this? The Hornets and Rockets.
Oh, that's
in
$5.
$6.
Yeah.
$6 ticket for NBA.
Opening night.
Opening night. Grizzlies, Jazz.
Free.
$12. $12. And they just sold out. They've sold out 4 NHL hockey games.
Yeah.
Like, which is the thing. It's like, hey, y'all don't have all the money. Right. Like you're gonna go to hockey and NBA every night in Utah.
$50. You can go both.
Really?
Get your right hand stamped at one, left hand stamped at the other.
That
50 includes the concessions too.
Yeah.
Right. The toughest ticket of the night. Wow. The toughest ticket of the night is Suns Clippers. And that's
just it's in Phoenix.
It's in LA.
That's the LA tax. In Phoenix is
$60.
New arena.
Yeah, new arena. Phoenix.
$60. Bulls Pelicans $9.
That should be another free.
Warriors Blazers $11.
I would pay that just to go see Steph.
Right. Like I'm just to be in the building.
I'm not going to Portland though.
Oh, is it in Portland?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Nets and Hawks in Atlanta $15.
Nope.
Pacers Pistons $14.
My man D-Man said let's see what he says. He said, I've been a Knicks fan and a Husker fan for 20 years. I don't know which one is harder.
Oh boy.
Who is Nebraska's Carmelo Anthony?
For basketball?
Or football? I see he's talking Husker football. Who's Husker football's answer to Carmelo Anthony?
And what is the definition? What is your definition of Carmelo Anthony?
I'm thinking like peak Mello, 12, 13.
But what do you mean? Like what is what
like cult hero, icon, bucket getter?
Oh, it was
talking like Taylor Martinez.
Taylor Martinez, or are they going to say Jamal Lord? Probably Taylor.
Taylor. Who's the quarterback that
Adrian?
That they keep talking about?
It was probably Adrian.
Back in Gans.
Yeah, but
put up a lot of numbers. Didn't really equate to championships, but people still like showing up to see what gaudy numbers he puts up and then go.
Yeah, it'd be a joke.
Maybe.
Yeah, I would probably lean more towards Taylor and Adrian because you're waiting to get to that championship. Like they got you there
and still mad about it.
Yeah,
mad.
Yeah, that's a good one. Dave from Renew, he says these guys don't play all 82 games like the following did. John Stockton, 16 years he played 82 straight. My man AC Green. Now AC Green had a superpower unknown to the man.
We didn't know until later.
Yeah, AC Green.
He had the Neo power.
He had
the he had the greatest no game in NBA history.
Yeah, he had the patience of Job. Isn't that right? Isn't that right, Austin? See there? See? The mailman went 10. Jordan, or the Michael Jordan, let me get it right. The Michael Jordan went 9, and he says, yes, MJ, not LeBron. Dang, man. Nick and Lincoln says the saddest part about Husker football this weekend is that in the last 25 years, they've shown no reason to think that we have a chance in the matchup. Love the show. Thanks, guys. 25 years versus this year, two different things. I mean, I get it. I understand.
What do you mean by two different things, though? That football games there aren't programs in the country who win lots of football games every year and teams that play for championships every year.
Oh, there is. But what I'm saying is it's two different. Like this coaching staff can't rectify what Steve Peterson them did. I don't know how many years ago.
2003.
Yeah.
Look at Austin.
All they can do is just go
with
along.
With a tattooed on his middle finger.
Yeah, and they just got to go, for what they do.
Let me show you. No,
let me show you what I think of Steve Peterson.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's why I say it's two different things. I mean, obviously there's remnants and stuff like that, but I will tell you this: you will see. I will say this on a little side note. This is my personal opinion. We can get into it more next segment, but we'll talk some more NBA right now. I think if they get to a revenue sharing, I think it helps a team like Nebraska immensely. But as far as the drumstick came in from the top row. Drumstick, you'll never text in, but I'm gonna cap on. He said Joe Gans is a dog. Nebraska wins the national championship in 09 if Gans is a starter.
Well, that's
hell no.
But that's why I was saying that he's the Carmelo. Because if you ever heard Rico talk about Melo, literally those are the things that he says about Melo. And let me tell you, they got closer.
Joe Gans is a dog? Didn't Joe Gans only start 1 year?
Bruh.
He's coaching though, isn't he?
Middle Tennessee State.
Yeah. You want to hear a funny Joe Gans story?
Always.
It was I would never forget this. It was a cold morning, but it wasn't snow on the ground. So when it's like you got frost and people are walking the dog, they got you can see the breath and stuff. And I went and to either the chiropractor or worked out at the gym. It was early. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to Hy-Vee. And and he must have lived over by the Hy-Vee, or I found out he did. I saw this dude who had this little old little flu dog, you know what I mean, with a man bun. You know what I was thinking, Austin? Like, who the hell is this dude with a man bun, right?
49ers.
And he had like a shirt cut off sleeves. Who the hell? Who's this clown? First of all, it's cold out here. Who's this dude? Somehow I saw him, I think, on the sideline. He took it because he was coaching, I think, at Nebraska at the time. Took his hat off. He had his man bun. I texted him. I said, hey, man, on Tuesday, was that you out there? He was like, yeah. I said, never. Take that out.
You know better.
Out. Yeah, that's the first time.
Disrespecting the brand.
Yeah. Culligan J says, Culligan J, I used to coach his son, man. This dude is like a man child. Culligan J is a big dude. I'm willing to say Culligan J's wife was an athlete. I don't know. But Culligan J is a big dude. The son is like a man child. Culligan J, you got your work cut out there, buddy. Once he starts he's going to test you one time. Don't get folded up like a chair.
You got to have that day, right? That meeting between dad and new man's son.
Yeah. I got your back, Culligan J, but I got your way back. Drumstick says, please watch the 2008 highlights, Jay. He's hands down the most underrated Nebraska QB of all time. You know what, Drumstick? During the break, I will watch. I know he put up some good numbers, and I was told that he should have been in there the whole time. Is that true? Because that was with Sam Keller?
So
was that Sam Keller?
Was 2007.
Okay.
2008. Here are Joe Gans' stats.
But who did he start the whole year?
He played in 13 games in 2008. His backup was Patrick Witt.
But should he have started in 2007 then?
You went and got Keller for a reason.
No, but
Keller wasn't atrocious. I mean,
all right, let's hear Joe Gans in 2008.
Okay, Joe Gans' stats in 2008. 285 of 420. Okay, so that's 68% completion.
I like it.
For 3,600 yards. 25 touchdowns against 11 interceptions.
Oh, see a little one in the car.
I don't know who that is. I'm just waiting.
Little one in the window.
Yeah.
But so he
how many touchdowns?
25 to 11 touchdown interception ratio.
Okay, but they had good running backs then though too, right?
The running game in that season was Roy Haleu, averaged most yards per carry, Marlon Lucky, and Quentin Castile.
Oh yeah, so they had
but none of them broke 1,000.
That's fine because you got three-headed monsters. They all could tote the pill.
But Joe Gans, his yards per attempt, air yards per attempt, yards per completion, and passer rating were all the lowest of his career. It was Chuck and Duck.
Oh, so there's a lot of empty.
Overinflated.
Yeah, a lot of empty stats. Dang.
Like Joe was fine.
Drumstick.
Well,
Joe was fine.
Hey, Drumstick.
He was fine.
But isn't that the definition of Carmelo?
Melo was really good for a few years in New York.
For a few years when he was in shape with his wax body, he was pretty good.
Yeah. Melo was better relative to level than Joe Gans ever was.
Melo should have just stayed his butt in Denver.
Right, but don't did he fumble? Did he fumble the bag with his wife or no?
Oh, I don't know.
That's not my business.
Hey, man, is this Joe Gans right here? He says, "Hey, is this Joe Gans here?"
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Is that Joe Gans right there? 6787.
That's right.
Is that Joe Gans?
6785.
6785. He says
that is hilarious.
He says, "Jay, don't be capping. It was a teacup poodle."
No, he's saying you have a teacup poodle.
No.
Oh
no, I don't.
No,
I don't
he
have
said the dog.
Don't be capping. Jay has a teacup.
Oh, that's somebody that knows.
I don't have no teacup poodle.
He throwing bombs.
One guy said Sam Keller was awful. Henry Big Bang Hank says Melo was garbage. I can't get with you with that. 74-41 says his bowl game victory over Clemson with Coach Pelini was one of the last great bowl victories.
Oh boy.
Was that over Dabo?
That was
that over Dabo?
Yes.
What was the last?
Then that, you know what?
Nebraska beat Dabo and Mark Richt under Bo Pelini.
That's right. The 98-yard Tommy Armstrong.
To Quincy and Unmark.
Yeah. There was another Tommy Armstrong said if he had a good OC. I think Tommy Armstrong got caught up in that wash between Bo and Mike Riley with Dan, was it Dan? The OC that came from the Langsdorff, yeah.
Tommy Armstrong, if his career would have played out appropriately, would have been Cam Ward.
Yeah, I think Tommy was maybe a little bit before his time. If he could get that true RPO like Cam Ward, be able to do that.
Did we ever get Jay Foreman's top 10 Husker quarterbacks?
We never had none. T. Frazier, and that's it. T. Frazier. Like, what do you mean quarterback? I'm just kidding, man. You know I'm just kidding. I'm just joking, man. You know I'm just playing. I'll probably say off the top of my head. Off the top of my head, T. Frazier, head and shoulders.
Okay.
Eric Crouch, Taggy, Steve Taylor, probably 2A. Ferragamo. I'm gonna do mine. You do yours.
Yeah, no, I'm just throwing names out there.
Ferragamo, so that's 5.
That's funny.
Turner Gill for sure. That's 6.
Okay.
The Martinez. That's we're at 8. Both of them.
Okay.
Frost. Probably Taylor and Gans. I mean, and then but here's the
Joe
asterisk.
Gans or Tommy Armstrong? Who are you taking?
I'm taking Tommy. I'm taking Tommy. My bad, Tommy. I know you're probably listening. But also, this was a dude, though, was on a crappy team. Jamal Lord would listen there. Jamal Lord right now would break people down. He was New York two-stepping on cats. Team was garbage, though.
If Tommy's 1A, where's Brooke Barron?
What do you mean? Tommy's 1A.
Well, he's one.
Oh, Tommy Frazier?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
geez.
1, right? But if Brooke could compete.
He like 12, 13.
Okay.
I mean, I hate even saying it. People get mad and stuff.
No, IQ Cruz just asked it. I
feel like this. I feel like
I'm just the messenger.
I just feel like Tommy was he was the better quarterback.
Yeah.
Brooke was good. You know what? If Brooke, you know what though? If Brooke didn't have Tommy, I guarantee you Brooke is way up there. Because Brooke was a sneaky good athlete. He could pick him up and put him down. Probably a better passer. He just didn't get the play. I think if Brooke is here, I think we still win a national championship if Brooke is the quarterback. So I'd have to put him up there. I have to stand corrected. I think he was a national championship winning quarterback, obviously. But I think if Tommy wasn't here, does he get the run like Tommy did in the Fiesta Bowl? Probably not. But I think Brooke could definitely do what he needed to do. He was a good athlete.
Yeah, I was leaving that. That's funny that those numbers. We went back and looked at Tommy Frazier's rush versus passing attempts, and surprisingly, the passing attempts are more because you don't think of it as being that type of offense and him being that type of player. But he threw more passes. He had more passing attempts than he had rushes.
Yeah, I think the thing is if Tommy was playing right now,
well,
hey,
yeah,
unstoppable.
Yeah.
Because Tommy, I'm gonna tell you what, Tommy could pass better than people gave him credit for. I think he got better at it as a passer. Obviously, I think probably when he had to sit out for those, that time, obviously, it kind of stymies that a little bit. But I'm telling you what, man. If you gotta go 90 yards, I could tell you Tommy would be out there and be 0 for 10. You need him to go he going 10 for 10. And that's just the way he just had that.
The greatest clutch quarterback.
He just was a competitor.
Yeah.
And he demanded it too, though. He demanded it. That's the thing. Is
what was he like in the locker room?
Well, he was on the offense, so I didn't, whatever. But here's a funny Tommy Frazier story. It was we had to be about to play. What was it? He had the blood clots against when we played the Fiesta Bowl, right? Well, it was both, right?
Yes.
Was that?
Yeah, I think both years.
Yeah,
both years. I think the one year he was, he wasn't. He was out, and then there was the year. Well, anyways, we used to always have a big scrimmage before we left to go to the, the bowl game, because we didn't take any time off, so we were playing with scrimmaging. Tommy comes out there. It's ones against ones. It's good on good. You know what I mean? So we getting after it. And Tommy come through the line, and obviously we just studded him up. He running it. He does a little something. And he actually had the same run, that famous run. He had it in practice. Like, he did the same thing in practice. So, you don't think practice goes over the game? It does. But he was rolling out, and we were chasing him and whatever. We weren't going to hit him out of bounds. He running, look back. He's like, I still got my speed. He competitor, man. I mean, Tommy was a competitive dude. And he had that. He just is a very good leader. He would do anything to win. Anything to win.
I'm not asking which stories, but stories go around. What percentage of the Tommy Story leadership style are true? Which ones are apocryphal?
What do you mean? Was he tough?
Yeah.
Demanding?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we were tough and demanding on him. It was go back and forth. Yeah, he's tough and demanding. I was never in the offensive huddle. You'd have to ask somebody that's been in there before. But yeah, I'm assuming so. He was competitor. He was in. I mean, it was no on and off switch. It's on. But we had the same guys defensively. Hey, man, it just was just the way. Here's the thing that I think people just don't understand, and I think a lot of people aren't willing to understand. That's the better statement. They're not willing to understand, whether it's parents of players that play sports or sometimes young athletes, and you get this a lot in basketball, because I always think basketball in this day and age. That's why the Nuggets are so good in the Celtics, right? Everybody plays all-star levels in their roles, and they're willing to take a lesser role to be a winner. Is when you get more, when you're really, really invested in winning, individually and collectively. It's the hardest thing for people to get a like their head wrapped around, because when you, like basketball trainers, right? You'll go there and you see the videos. You'll go through the cones between your legs, hezzy dribble. You dribble 18 times. That probably happens once or twice, in a game. If you do it a lot in the game, your team probably isn't very good. If you are a volume dribbler and a volume shooter, your team is not going to be very good, because basketball is a team sport. Very rarely do you say, you know what, we're going to go to Jay Wright's team basketball camp and we're going to get better as a team. Because nobody sees that if you're on a good team and everybody's playing well, that you all will go to the next level. If you want an example, there's a really good girls basketball team in Millard West. They have 2 twins, and they had 3 other girls, and they have 2 other girls that come off the bench. The 2 twins are the headliners. You had another 10-point scorer, 8-point scorer, 6-point scorer. We called the game, and 2 kind of 4 off the bench. All 5, 7 of them are going to go to elite, go to college, some point in time. So, but yeah, it's Tommy was a. I mean, he wasn't like demeaning or anything like that, or like a bully. He's tough, because you can be tough on people and demand and want more because you've done it. And I think that's probably getting mixed up into.
Well, and if you're right, if it works.
Well, with Tommy, you look out and play him at work. Football is a little easier, just because if you're asked to do the work and do more. That's how you get to be Tommy Frazier. If you think that Tommy was just like going to meetings and just that was it, then you're not even in this stratosphere. That's why you can be demanding. Let's see right here. We got 712. Where is that? That's Iowa? We won't hold it against you, especially if you're from Ames. You know your nose is burnt, nostrils are burning. Tell the story. Tell the Damon Tommy story at UCLA that will explain how he was. Come on, man.
See, there's people that know.
If you don't want to tell it, you
I think Damon's told it. I'll tell it real quick before we go to break. I guess I wasn't here yet. I wasn't here yet. I still was in high school. So supposedly they were out in UCLA. Damon was playing as a freshman. Something must have happened. I don't know if he fumbled or whatever, but I guess Tommy was, kicked him out of the huddle or something like that. I don't really know the old details of the story. I was not here. But I know that when Matt Hoskinson told me when he went in the game and Aaron Taylor went in the game when they were young guys. Now, I was here then. He pretty much said, hey, listen, you in this, you don't mess up. I will tell you, you can take Tommy out of it. I was a freshman starting. Christian Peter told me the same thing. Phil Ellis told me the same thing. And it wasn't like, don't mess up or else. It was like, you belong here. Don't be a chump, pretty much. And if you're going to be a chump, get out. So, I mean, it happens to everybody. You know what I mean? I told you a story about Bruce Smith and Gabe Northern, right? You tell you this story? If you take it like if you take it, if you
popcorn DP.
If you could ever get on, I guess YouTube NFL Films, there's a thing where it's kind of in the infancy stages where they mic up guys.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I saw this in person. I didn't know it was going on viral. It would be viral. So here's the deal. Bruce Smith. So we used to, when we get in short yardage, Bruce would be in there. So Bruce used to always want to run this like text stunt or X stunt. He'd run a text or something with the nose guard or with the outside linebacker who happened to be Gabe. And so what happens is Gabe goes down essentially and goes through the tight end and tackle. Well, Bruce is free to make the play. He's a Hall of Famer, right? And in the call DP, Bruce gets to make the call. Well, Bruce was calling it every 3rd and 1. Well, Gabe's getting blown, like throwing out the club, fake ID, and give me your cash. Well, one time, and this has been brewing for a few weeks. Mm-hmm. So Ted Cottrell was like, call it off, right? So you just wipe it off, we just say wipe it off. Gabe wiped it off. Bruce had to sit into a double team. He got rolled up into like me and John Holisek. So everybody's mad on the sideline, and Bruce is going off on Gabe. He going off on me and John. I'm like, bro, you got put in my lap, and I'm just just a rookie. Well, he goes up to Wade, and this is the future. So the whole thing with Wade Phillips, everybody used to get mad at him because he never wore the headset. This time he actually had the headset on because he was trying to figure. So Bruce goes over and takes Wade's headset off. This is on like for NFL film.
Yeah.
Takes his headset off. He was like, and if you know Bruce, he's like, hey, man. Hey, I'm sitting where Austin. He's like, hey, man. He's like, that Gabe Northern, you can't play him with me. He's sorry, and you know what? He's like, he got sorry, blankety blank. You hear me? And then proceeds to put the headphones back on him. Right there.
Cold-blooded game.
I was looking at him. I said, at that point, I was like, I'm glad he ain't say me, because he already just went off. I don't know why he was mad at me, but he was just mad at everybody.
You were in the area, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was.
Come on.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, Ted Cottrell was walking away, cussing about Bruce, but not getting anybody, letting us just get the business. So it was one of those things. Anyways, story time's over. We're going to take a quick break, come back. Jay Foreman, Austin Norman, DP. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese at 84th and Havelock. This week's special through October 29th is $1 off per pound on New York strips. Spend $50 and get a free brick of ground beef and 25% off on tea. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Highway 2 in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
This is State Senator Carolyn Bozin. Public safety is important in our community. I have a proven record of protecting public safety. I have prosecuted perpetrators of domestic violence, advocated for the rights of child abuse victims, held sexual predators accountable, and fought to keep drug traffickers off our streets. This is Senator Carolyn Bosson, and I will continue to fight to keep our community safe. Vote Carolyn Bosson on November 5th. Paid for by Bosson for Legislature.
Transform your view with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Heartland of Nebraska Windows offers a free estimate, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty of everything while keeping their prices affordable. Sounds too good to be true, right? Heartland of Nebraska Windows is locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give the window experts at Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today at 402-430-3852 or visit them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. Elevate your home or business with the help of Heartland of Nebraska Windows today.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. We want to thank all of our customers for a great September. And now it's time for our annual Halloween sales event happening right now at Koppel. Get 0% financing at Koppel. You heard right, 0% financing on select new models. Also, huge discounts up to $11,500 are available. It's our annual Halloween sales event. Get $11,500 off or 0% financing at Koppel. So please stop on by or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did 0% with roof credit.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
This October, the Bonsall Spooktacular 10 event is back with spooktacular savings all month long. Stop by anytime in October to discover incredible deals, including hot tubs as low as $5,995. That's up to 20% off MSRP. Plus, enjoy 10% off infrared and traditional saunas. Don't miss out on these hauntingly good offers. Visit Bonsall Pool and Spa today. Bonsall Pool and Spa, every day made better at 33rd and Pioneers.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Second segment. Text line. Drumstick says he missed Bo.
It makes sense now.
My 712
Pelini, Jackson. Who are we talking about here?
Bo Derek. This is Bo Derek.
6184 says he hates Iowa also. His last year was 91. 9239. He said if you're talking about the 93 game against UCLA, that was when LP started his legacy. Like I said, I wasn't there. I think LP was probably back in Cali about to do his thing. Raiders fan. Two twins as opposed to, I don't know what that was that for the basketball?
Yeah, you were describing a team that had the.
Yeah, they got the two twins. Big Bang Hank says Mello. Gino has an honest question. Maybe you talked about this yesterday, but Gifford talked about how pissed off they were after Saturday. Were those teams you played on, Jay, ever not pissed off? Or did you ever go into a game with anything but I'm going to kill you mentality? Sure. I mean, yeah. Especially, you're going to be mad after you let yourself down. Your team doesn't play well because you're, invested. So you should be emotional about it, and like I said, there's a difference to playing your hardest, trying to play your best, and you get beat, and it's just not your day versus not doing the things that you can control as a 1 through 80 to give yourself a chance to play. And that's the one I just mentioned is the one where I was talking about the price of discipline is worth is minimal compared to the price of regret.
Did you ever lose a 48-point game
in college?
Ever?
No, and not in college. We got smoked one time.
Like in high school?
No,
because you don't have.
No. That's not happening.
Houston.
No.
Buffalo.
Well, the equivalent in the pros is I could tell you Kansas City didn't beat us by that many points, but they beat us because we pretty much crapped the bed. One time we went out there to San Francisco when I was in Buffalo. This is actually Halloween, so actually coming up here very soon. Played them on, I think, a Thursday night. This was your boy Ray Brown, right? So DP was talking about Ray Brown. So here's about Ray Brown. He played about 25 years in the league and was built like a bodybuilder, phenomenal athlete, kind of rotational starter. But then when he started, he did well. He could play every position. A great example of longevity. I think he coaches in the NFL, or at least did for a long time too.
He's a high school coach now.
You're right, but he coached at the NFL as offensive line for a while too.
Yeah.
So we're playing him out there on Thursday night. They got Garrison Hurst, JJ Stokes, Ray Brown, Jeff Garcia is the quarterback, Terrell Owens, and who's the dude that married Jessica Simpson, the tight end. He was a tight end. And so, they had a good team. When I tell you, them brothers out there on warp speed, listen, they were moving so fast, Austin. It was like seeing two of them because they were fresh. It was Greg Williams, and he was beating us up in practice. We weren't very good. And so that we lost 28-0. So that's equivalent. Then the last game of the season down in Miami, I talked to you about Lamar Smith, and we lost pretty bad to the Dolphins. That's when Alex Van Pelt, we were all excited for him to start, pulled his hamstring in warmups, which is, I've never seen that before, a quarterback. Alex, he's not the beacon of physical health of like today. And we got smoked. That was a long 5-hour flight back to Buffalo. And I'll never forget looking up there because I had a kind of a row to myself because I was the 1 or 2 seats before, like the big plane in the bathroom. I remember Tom Donahoe was sitting up there talking to Greg Williams, and I was like, yeah, and the light shined on him. And I was like, I told my friend Sean Bryson, I was like, man, that dude's up there thinking, how was he going to cut? You want to get rid of him.
He really, Ray Brown started over 200 football games in the NFL.
He did? Oh, that's right, because he was a full-time starter.
Well, he was a Pro Bowler in 2001.
That's
so,
right. Yeah. Yeah. That was my bad. I know he was in the league forever.
205.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have known that. Yeah.
I found this thing out this weekend. And it's a trivia question for you, Jay. Austin, if you know the answer, feel free to chime in. What player has played more plays on the defensive side of the football in NFL history? What player has played the most plays defensively
right
in
now,
the NFL.
or just overtime? London
Ever.
Fletcher.
Ever.
London Fletcher?
No.
Oh, Jim Marshall. No,
More than Jim Marshall. Number one in plays, defensive plays in the NFL. No player has played more plays on the defensive side of the ball than this player. You're in the right neighborhood.
Is it during my time?
Yes.
It's not.
Yes, as a matter of fact.
It's not. It's not London Fletcher. It's defensively. It's got to be somebody that played. It couldn't be Junior Seau. Could it be Junior? No. Trying to see somebody that played a ton of plays or played a ton of years.
Played more plays. He played 20 years.
On defense?
On defense.
That was Junior, wasn't it?
There's a player. Junior's in the top
was it
10.
Paul? No one Paul Krause, because he's no way older. 20 years. So he got to be. What could? Oh, Darryl Green.
Darryl Green.
Yeah, man.
Darryl Green has played more plays defensively
because he never got hurt.
He never got hurt.
Yeah.
He started every game. Darryl Green has played more plays defensively than anybody in the history of the NFL. And you think about that, right? Like
and he still could cover.
He ran a 4.48 3 months ago. A 4.48.
He's just one of those dudes that you don't want to play at the open run in the Y.
Man, just walking up on you.
Yeah. How old are you? 65?
Yeah. Let me give you this work.
He's giving you this
Let
work.
me give you this work.
Smiling at you the whole time.
Let me give you this work, man.
Yeah, Darryl Green, man. He was big shout out to him. I know he got his own suite, got the Ring of Fame. I grew up watching him, man. I mean, I think his iconic play is when he had the interception against the Bears and he hurled the guy and he pulled the rib cage muscle.
Punt return.
Yeah. Or punt return.
Punt return.
That was the infancy stages of NFL.
Crack the rib.
Yeah.
Hurdle a dude in 0-degree weather.
It's
crack
too cold.
the rib. Crack the rib. Well,
McRib sandwich.
He hadn't been returning punts.
Yeah.
But they knew he was the best punt returner around. They just didn't use him because they didn't have to.
Yeah.
And the game had gotten so weird, and they finally pinned the Bears back. And Joe Gibbs was like, I'm going to play hunch. Let's get Darryl out there. And Darryl caught it and hurdled and took it to the house with a crack rib.
He was a great player, man. It's some of those guys that, obviously he gets his just due, but people don't realize how good or how great he was. I shouldn't say good. How great he was.
And there was Champ Bailey was in town.
He was obviously another great one.
Right. Those are two of the top five, right?
Yeah.
That no matter how you break down defensive backs or cornerbacks.
Yeah. No matter what it is,
those two, Deion played a little safety, so there's that. Ronnie Lott played some safety. Blunt played some safety. But when you talk about pure corners, oh my goodness. Yeah, what college was Green from? Texas A&I University.
Yep.
Texas A&I. Imagine how good you had to be. He was passed on. Literally every scout in the country missed him.
Oh yeah.
To end up at Texas A&I, and then how many people missed out were wrong about the 5'8", 168-pound corner who goes on to be in the Hall of Fame and being one of the greats ever. Sometimes we say that, scouts don't know what they're talking about.
Well, I think it's one of those things that, whether it's Dale Green or John Randall, you got to think they were in college at a time, to be honest with you. You got to think, my dad in 1968 is when they first started. That's the first year they would integrate colleges openly, right? Mm-hmm. And so their time when they came, in the middle of the late 80s, especially for Dale Green, that's still it was still you could go, but if you didn't pass the height, weight, speed, actually had speed, but if you didn't have the height, they weren't even looking at you. So that's how you have
a scholarship,
right? So you have guys like that go Texas A&I. You have John Randall goes Texas A&M, Kingsville.
They missed out.
You're talking about
Michael Strahan.
Yeah, Michael Strahan.
And
his story is a little different because he started football so late and went to Texas Southern, and his parents were stationed in Houston, but he grew up in Germany.
Darryl Green didn't play high school ball until his senior year. His mom wouldn't let him play. And Monty Coleman, he was telling the story. They wouldn't let him play until he got He was in the band.
Yeah,
He was
that's
in
where
the
a lot of
band
guys,
as a junior. They were like, "Hey, bro,"
because you get scholarships there. I mean, it's also, when you look at it, that's where you got a lot of the guys that would go to those schools, and because still that's where you would probably get the looks, a lot more frequent. So, being overlooked, it's no different. Like I always tell people, Danny Woodhead comes to Nebraska. Does he end up being Danny Woodhead? Maybe not.
Well, let me say it publicly. Congratulations to your dad making the final list.
Yeah. He made the final 31, which is weird. Yeah. But so he went
one
from
per team. So the idea is that at least teams can be represented.
He's in the mix. He's in the mix, and this is the farthest he's been. So we're gonna keep pushing forward. Keep praying and hoping. I mean, he deserves it. So I think it's an easy thought process for him. But I'm happy for him, man. It's something he deserves. And if I had a wish, I want him I'd like him going this year. I hope he goes in this year. I'm expecting him to go in this year, but I want him to go in and to be able to finally enjoy what he deserves.
Don't do it after the fact.
Right. He's in every single one. He's got his high school field named after him. He's in the college football Hall of Fame. He's in his high school Hall of Fame, of course. He's in the Vikings Ring of Honor, and that's great. If you ask people, he's still the best running back, and he doesn't have all the yards. He's in the Miami Hurricanes Ring of Fame. He's in the down at the stadium. So this is the last one, man. So I'm excited for him. Happy for him too.
It's my hope that both he and Larry Brown, get in at the same time.
It'd be great, man. I think I think they're going. There's going to be 3. I think it's time. I think there was some unfortunate factors in none of his doing, which has probably been the most disappointing of it. And I think once it took us, obviously my dad, when you get let down by some people, it took him a little while to get over, but I think he's got a good like Ben Ties and stuff like that, does a lot of good stuff for him. He's got a lot of great people around him, and my dad's really embraced the whole process. We're going to try to, even though it's New Orleans, I think, it'd be good for him to go down to Super Bowl and stuff. And
give your dad's website.
Yes, it's just chuckforeman44.com.
Yeah.
Hey, man, he's selling that stuff like hotcakes.
Go get a signed jersey. Go get a signed football. Go to the website. Do the thing, and then give some support for him.
Yeah, for sure, man. Get it out on Twitter and all that stuff. I appreciate it. Look, we got a lot of Vikings fans here in Nebraska, so hopefully so. You know what, man? My dad has one of those Panini cards, 1-of-1s.
Mm-hmm.
Dude hit me up on Facebook, asked me if I want to buy it for $300.
How about that?
Like, dang.
Yeah.
I want it. 300.
You're rich. Do it.
I know the dude.
You're rich.
Can you do trade?
Right.
I ain't even offering to trade.
Right.
Trade him what? What should I offer to trade?
Get the card. Man.
Have your dad sign some other stuff.
Get the card.
Spend $300 worth of
all the
something
stuff
else.
that's sitting in his.
But I tell you what, it better be 1-on-1. If it's not 1-on-1, I gotta come find you.
Right.
Anyways.
Right.
Jay Forward, DP, Austin. To quick break. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel is the answer to all your lunch and dinner cravings. They have everything from smoked turkey sandwiches to brisket burritos to burnt-in sandwiches and pulled pork. Try a dinner plate option of barbecue nachos, a half-smoked chicken, a full slab of ribs, and so much more. Don't forget their great sides like mac and cheese, cheesy potatoes, barbecue beans, or red slaw. Mulberry Barbecue by Single Barrel, open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and we want to thank all of our customers for a great September. And now it's time for our annual Halloween sales event happening right now at Koppel. Get 0% financing at Koppel. You heard right, 0% financing on select new models. Also, huge discounts up to $11,500 are available. It's our annual Halloween sales event. Get $11,500 off or 0% financing at Koppel. So please stop on by or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. 0% with roof credit.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
Fall is here, which means it's time to dive into a new lineup of autumn flavors at Wings and Rings. Your home away from home during football season. Their all-star lineup of wing sauces is adding 2 new impact players, curry garlic and pumpkin chili. Need something delicious before kickoff? How about starting your meal with their brand new chorizo nachos and loaded fries? You better act fast. These new tastes of autumn won't be here long. So make the trip to one of their 2 Lincoln locations today on O Street or Village Lane.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a slight chance of showers this morning. Otherwise, decreasing clouds throughout the day. An afternoon high around 67. Tonight, mostly clear skies with a low around 46. Tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return. It'll be breezy with a high around 81. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back. We'll put a bow on this. We'll dive into more Ohio State, obviously, tomorrow and obviously Friday. DP, here's an NFL question. Does Deshaun Watson ever play again? Obviously, unfortunate injury, and then obviously it's unfortunate that fans were clapping that he was injured. You know, I've been there when you're laid out on the field, 90,000 people. It's not fun. But do you think he ever plays again?
That tear is a different thing. I do, because I think there's that wonderful thing that if your career hasn't gone the way you thought it has, you always think you have time.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a ton of players who fall into that Deshaun category of guys that thought they had time. And then that time is cut short or threatened. And then all of a sudden it triggers that other thing.
Yeah.
And you realize, oh man, I've been taking this for granted.
Yeah.
I need to go get this thing. Jim Plunkett comes to mind.
Sure, yeah.
As a guy that had all of the stuff beforehand. And if bad things don't happen, you don't go and get it.
Yeah.
So in that space, yeah, I think he plays again. I think he has a better version of him in him.
Yeah.
Situation, circumstance, and shame on the fans who cheered that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that's tricky for him, which was probably the greatest. Hey, listen, owner's been getting over on players for how long.
Mm-hmm.
He has the biggest heist of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the contract.
Mm-hmm.
I think that hurts him if he's trying to go to another place because, you know, he hasn't been playing well.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's other factors. I think there's a mental block, obviously, that he needs to rectify or continue to rehab or rectify from, and to continue to. I would advise him, obviously, to rehab it physically, but then also rehab his.
Well, but that's what happens, right? I mean, we know that there's Chris Carter went through his
right, but his is extensive. I think if he needs to continue to make huge steps into rectifying that situation. The problem is the contract, but also think to discredit the fans and the situation in Cleveland. You have a coach that has you're stuck with this guy, right? Because of the contract.
Yep.
Your offense nowhere suits him, even before the injury.
Yeah.
So now you're up here sabotaging yourself because you're not going to win. You're not going to get the best version of him. So ideally, you'd like to see him get in a situation, maybe back up at Seattle or somewhere, or get somewhere where he could be a one-year starter and teach somebody or whatever.
If it worked for Geno Smith, it
could work for him.
It
could work. It's just the contract. All his money is guaranteed.
Well, that's not his fault.
No,
because his agent is good.
Right.
But then somebody can come in, and
Cleveland's going to have to eat a lot of that.
They're going to have to eat it to move on.
Yeah.
But that would be a really Cleveland thing to do, wouldn't it?
Well, if
all of this it couldn't have happened anywhere but Cleveland.
And if Cleveland realistically wants to move on, they have to draft somebody maybe at the bottom of the first round and roll with this dude. And hope.
I don't think they go bottom of the first round.
Or in the second round or
they
somewhere.
Have to sell tickets.
Well, they're going to have to. Yeah, but if you're going to eat 75% of this contract, then you're going to have to draft low or sign a Andy Dalton or a Bryce Young or somebody that you can sell for a year or two, because you're not going to get a legitimate.
Every quarterback in the draft pool knows Cleveland's situation.
Right. That's why you're going to have to draft somebody that slips or sign to Andy Dalton or trade for a Bryce Young. That's what they should do.
Yeah, the Bryce Young thing makes sense.
Because he's low salary cap.
It makes sense.
And you ain't going to be able to trade Deshaun.
It makes sense. But they like Mr. Howard, and I can see them drafting him late first, second round.
Oh, Cleveland?
Yeah.
Cleveland don't know what they like.
Well, it's
they don't even like. They don't even know if they want to be the Browns anymore.
It's Cleveland.
Anyways, good show as always. Tune in tomorrow. We got Thirsty Thursday, the AKA Eric Strickland holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Meyer Corcombotto will be in the building.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll continue. We'll move on to Ohio State officially after we did it today. But we'll dive into the details tomorrow. Jay Foreman, DP Austin. We'll holler at you tomorrow.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial.